So this clip's actually going to be quite funny. In this clip, we are going to see UK journalist Victoria Derbyshire press and grill former Donald Trump's national security advisor, in which the answers that it is that she gives leaves Victoria Derbyshire more puzzled than before. But then secondly, she's also going to give her a little bit of a check-in because of a comment that it is that she makes. As usual, let's watch the clip in full and then we'll go from there.
Yes. OK, well, let's talk to the woman who was Donald Trump's Deputy National Security Advisor in his first term, KT McFarland. Welcome back to Newsnight, KT McFarland. Thank you for being with us and talking to our audience. I don't know if you heard some of our guests here, but they're not clear still about what these objectives are.
I don't think they're listening very hard. The objectives are pretty clear. Iran should stop its nuclear weapons program. It stops its missile program, especially intercontinental ballistic missile program, stops funding terrorists who can, and terrorist proxies in the region who can hurt our allies and hurt the United States. OK.
And if the US and Israel do destroy most of Iran's military infrastructure and their nuclear capability, which of course we were told last summer was pretty much destroyed by the US and Israel, but the regime is still in place, which it is, would you be OK with that?
I think President Trump's made it pretty clear that the current regime is not going, and the regime has made it pretty clear that it's not going to agree to any of those terms. You know, I think one of the reasons that President Trump took precipitous action, what he did, was it was pretty clear from the negotiations that Iran said they have enough highly enriched uranium for 11 nuclear weapons. They're not going to give that up. And so the negotiated solution wasn't going to work. And then militarily, they started, you know, as you point out, we did destroy a lot of their nuclear facilities and enrichment capabilities, but they started rebuilding the very next day. So I think President Trump's made the decision of do it now, get it done now. Iran only becomes more powerful over time, especially as it gets closer to nuclear weapons.
And the question was, would you be OK if the regime stayed in place?
Well, you tell me, what is the regime is going to do?
Well, you're a former Deputy National Security Advisor. You tell me.
I don't think it's acceptable if the current regime isn't going to give up its nuclear weapons, its missile program, or its support of proxies. Now, is there a regime in waiting? I think that the first tier of leadership has been removed. Is there a second tier that the United States is talking to? Are there opposition groups the United States is talking to who could potentially step in and govern? Very much the example that I think a lot of Americans are looking at is what happened in Venezuela. In Venezuela, the top leadership, the top leader, Maduro, is out, and his deputy, who 2 months ago would have said the United States is a mortal enemy, that deputy is now working very closely with the United States. So I think the goal is to find someone equivalent in Iran that the United States can work for that's going to work with us on those three objectives that I've been talking about.
You're not suggesting it's the late Supreme Leader's son, Mujtaba Khomeini, are you?
I think he's made it pretty clear it's not him.
Right, so you have to kill him first before you find the person that you can work with?
Well, I think that the United States has not all of the senior leaders of Iran have been eliminated. And is the United States talking to them? I don't think the president should be telling you or me or anybody else who he's talking to behind the scenes. But the assumption is that they know who in the Iranian leadership is somebody who they can work with, or the individuals who they can work with, and that's who they're probably talking to right now.
OK. Thank you very much for your time this evening, KT McFarland. Thank you.
Just another example of a Donald Trump talking piece coming on British television and trying to just say a load of different things without saying absolutely anything. You know, I'm glad that Victoria Derbyshire pressed her the way that it is that she did. I'm kind of pushed back when she tried to say, you tell me. Well, no, that's the reason why you're being interviewed. The problem with this war, and everybody has seen it and known it from the very beginning, the United States, Donald Trump, and Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel have no clue why they started it. Now, some of us have some ideas as to why, but they themselves, they don't know why they started it. That's the reason as to why the entire administration are all over the place. They're all over the place and they can't even explain, justify, and give reasoning as to why the war itself has started. And because of the fact they don't know the reason why the war started, that's the exact same reason why they can never give us any answer as to when the end of the war is going to take place. This is what's happening, and this is what is going on. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this exchange in the comment section below. Was you left more confused prior to the interview as you were after the interview? Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section. And do me a favor, hype the video up. Let's get it in front of as many people as possible and give the video a thumbs up. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.